I've been associated with Merrell for a couple of years now, and I hasten to add that that association was me approaching Merrell. It wasn't the other way around, because I'd worn Merrell Kit for a little while, particularly the boots, and I was genuinely impressed by them. And my agent, who's quite sharp about this sort of thing, thought, oh, we should chat to Merrell and see if we can build a bit of a relationship there. So I'm in the very fortunate position of trying out a lot of the Merrell gear, and it's really interesting looking at the kit that's arrayed around the room, that there's a lot of technology obviously involved in footwear nowadays, and there's some tremendously impressive expressions and things used with all the kit. I can tell you that that has got aggressive lugs, which, as we all know, is key. And you know, the Vibram soles, and it's Unifly as well, which I think we all agree is very important. But actually, the bottom line is for the end user, and Merrell have a lot of very, very loyal end users, is do they work? Does this kit work? And I think the reason it's so popular is that it does work. And I just want to tell you briefly about a project where we've taken some of this kit out and tested it to destruction. I've just come back from a thing in Guyana. We're filming for Discovery. It's a new series coming out for Discovery called Lost Worlds. And the idea is that myself and a guy called Leo Holding, I don't know if you've heard of Leo Holding, an authentic, dyed-in-the-mould psychopath who, half man, half Velcro, you've got the whole of the human species, and then you've got Leo out there. And the idea, he goes and climbs these extraordinary features around the world. We find remarkable features. He climbs them, and he drags a 47-year-old gibbering biologist up behind him, and I look at all the animals and everything there. And we went to Guyana to find two lost waterfalls called Oji and Camarang. They were last seen in 1938 by a biologist called Paul Zahl, and no one's seen them since. It's not like they've moved, it's because 80% of Guyana's rainforest, the original impenetrable rainforest, and they're literally not on the maps. Now, these waterfalls are the size of the Shard and a half high, and they've got the same volume of water going over them as Niagara, and they're not on any maps. It's a real mystical Conan Doyle thing. And so we did a 3-week expedition into this environment. Everything fell apart, including the people. It was brutal, really brutal. And the subsequent emotion is shown in the series that's coming out. And the only thing that didn't fall apart was my boots, my Merrell boots. I fell apart, my boots didn't. And it seems to me, coming back to that thing of technology, all this technology that's thrown at all this stuff, the bottom line is that your feet still have to work. The most important piece of technology is your feet, basically. And that's what got us in, and that's what got us out, was our feet. And it was really interesting to look around this camera crew, an extraordinarily experienced camera crew from Discovery, who had trekked to the pole, who had done amazing projects in mountains, in deserts, on islands. How many of them wore Merrell? And I think Merrell is really leading the way in that respect. So any advances or any developments, I think, are just well worth paying attention to and informing people about. So I came to Merrell as a fan. I'm delighted to be associated with Merrell now as a you know, as an ambassador. I'm running the Man versus Mountain race for Merrell on September the 9th, when I imagine my ambassadorial role with them will end, as I'll be kicked out, because I understand it's just savage Armageddon, the entire race. But until then, I'm delighted to be an ambassador and welcome you here tonight. So have a good evening and ask lots of questions. That's the man you need to ask lots of questions for, and drink lots of beer. So cheers. Thank you.